Hello everyone, this is Walking Problem and it's a trap. So the football saga that I covered, I think the day before yesterday or yesterday, is not over yet. So this time Sasikumar, uh I think the CEO of Red Card, and he's also the member of the Unleash the Raw committee, and he's also a former coach, I think, if I'm not wrong, and a former player. And he kind of set a trap for himself, and kind of like, yeah. Anyway, if you are not sure what happened, TMSG, having a field day, with all this crazy stuff that's happening within the football community, and so they have this article, this published today, to kind of like summarize what had happened. So basically, if you are not in tune with what had happened, I can use this article and have a quick run through what happened. So what happened is that in the news story in the Straits Times regarding the Unleash the Raw, which is the Go 2034, Felipe Au mentioned about renewal of coaching license. So football coaching license, to be specific. So, and a lot of people very pissed off because they feel that it's mainly the coaches. They feel that their career is under threat. That they need to constantly have to renew their license. And one of them is Tohari Paijan. Like he even wrote in the comment that Korea and Japan also don't have, why we need to do something like that. But actually I did a fact check, and he's wrong. In Japan, every 4 years, for all the classes, all the coaching classes need to be renewed. You need to go on courses to be able to renew your license for every 4 years. And at the top level, which is the S level in Japan, you need to renew every 2 years. You need to go enough courses, right, or whatever, how they do the point system, and then to be able to qualify for renewal. In South Korea, the coaching license renewal is every 3 years, and this is not just Japan or Korea. Actually, this is actually some form, is actually an international standard. In UEFA, the entire of Europe, any FA that is under, any football association that's under the UEFA needs to renew every 3 years. And I'm not even sure if the renewal is just going on online courses or some small short vertical courses. The way I read it feels like you have to go through the entire coaching course. It seems like it. And every 3 years in UEFA. So for Singapore, right, to actually introduce this renewal of coaching license, it's not really that groundbreaking. In fact, we are just doing a catch up. But all these coaches, apparently, maybe they are not so sure about all these things. Maybe they never go out, or they never go read it about it, because AFC, the Asian Football Confederation, did not have such regulation in terms of coaching renewal. I checked. It's not on AFC website, but on UEFA website there is. So UEFA said it pretty clear that you need to be renewed your coaching license every 3 years. So Tori Paijan say that he's very pissed off. He took he kind of like personal attack on Felipe Au, and Mr. Yakob Hashim, one of he's the Anza head coach, and he is in youth development, youth coaching for a very, very long time. So he's very pissed off, and he questioned the credentials of Felipe Au to make such a decision. Which, to be honest, I don't think you need any credentials to make such a decision, because if UEFA is doing, Japan is doing, Korea is doing, at a policy level, I don't even think that coaching is a point to all your past result, all your experience needs to be a case, to make a case for making any kind of strategic changes to the setup of Singapore football. And in fact, football has been around only for 100+ years. So anyone can have good ideas. So and then James Lim say it's a good thing lah. So okay, whatever. So this is a kind of sidetrack a bit where Cairo Ashraf, he's I think he's a scout and play agent if I'm not wrong. He said he support. Then that triggers Yakob into ranting lah about I would say just personal attack lah, questioning credentials again. So that is I think this is a serious problem within the Singapore in the Singapore football community. I'm not really in this community, to be honest. So I'm kind of like, I can comment in a very fair way as an outsider. I think it's ridiculous to just constantly question credentials or question that, oh, you never played football before, how can you be a coach? This sort of thing is, Mourinho is never a good player, but he is a very good coach. And that just spells it out. And so and there is also like all sort of other kind of like preconceived notions like, oh, our country is too small, too few people, but Iceland went to World Cup. So like the football circle is just full of this kind of thing. And in this instance, where attack on Felipe Au is exactly the kind of thing. What credentials are you to dictate things that happen to my career? Like, I doubt he's the only one who that makes a decision. So I don't think he have the power to make a decision on his own, but it's his job to announce it, I believe. So anyway, so Sasikumar, who is part of the committee, as I mentioned, so he like can't tell people to take a step back lah, relax. So what happened is that he posted on when Yakob is ranting. I'm not sure where he posted this. So he tell Yakob that, I read your post, I understand your concern and frustration. I think the best way to address this is to have a dialogue with the technical team at FAS. As someone involved in the project, I think it's irresponsible for him to ignore this. So he will try to arrange a session with the team. And I believe he's referring to the Football Association team, technical team. So he tell him, don't stress, take care of your health and kind of thing. But he inevitably kind of like set a trap for himself. So Yakob immediately kind of like set a trap, and kind of like he just fell into the trap. He said, Sasi, my team is willing to accept your invitation. Coach Kadir Yahya will present long-term presentation for the UTR projects. We will also touch base on how to move Singapore football forward. My team will meet up only with UTR chairman and the 2 deputies. The rest of the committee you can just watch only. So you okay with the arrangement? And of course, being commented on his Facebook publicly, all his friends like, yeah, yo, woo. Then so, and James Lim kind of like made a point which I felt too, is that, are we still discussing the coach certification renewal? Then Yakob just said that let's cover all matters lah. So James Lim kind of made a very good point. How do I go to this? Okay, so you can read. Coaching certification is under FAS sanction. UTR's executive committee is a third party with no authorization to make such policy decision. So it's only proper to meet with FAS technical director or council if the talk is about coach certification. Then he start to question his motivations. He say that if you're pursuing coaching opportunities with the UTR football academies, then by all means proceed. Did the FA Council make the coach certification decision? Not necessarily if the certification is not a FA sanctioned document and it's a Active SG or UTR own certification possibility. I don't know what this hell means. Okay. Then like I don't know why he say this thing again, repeat again. So are we now touching on coaching or cari makan opportunity? So he's questioning the motive of Yakob to why are you doing all these things? Are you trying to find a way to get into this project, or to find opportunities, or are you just talking about the unleash the raw or the coaching issue? So then he of course a bit pissed off lah. He said, please be direct. I don't have hidden agenda. I'm in my second phase of his life, which is actually correct. Yeah, correct. Actually, Yakob is a bit old already, so I don't think he have. I don't think Yakob have any ulterior motive. I somewhat know him. He's a very sincere guy. He really wants things to go well, and but he of course he's also very opinionated. He have his own ideas and opinions about what works and what don't work. And being a lao jiao, being someone who is very experienced, he feel that he should have a say, or at least his advice would have value. And I think being he was previously on the FAS committee. He was, when he left, he was very pissed. He felt that there's no way he can contribute or steer things within FAS, and maybe this is his final shot at the opportunity to make a mark on Singapore football. I believe this is what is happening. Oh, Sasi got a reply also. Actually, I think you got my intention wrong. I was looking to facilitate a dialogue, not start a war. Let's talk again if it's about accreditation. So, please lah, I said I accepted the dialogue and the team will do the presentation. You put word in my mouth about going to war. Rah, rah, rah. Yeah, so like I said, Sasikumar kind of like accidentally created a trap for himself to step into it. And Mr. Yakob kind of like just make a big take the opportunity and kind of like take a pot shot lah, to kind of try to create a wormhole so that he can go into it, the wormhole, and make his point. So this is what happened just now, 2 hours ago. So this is technically breaking. My opinion is, if Sasikumar is able to give him an opportunity to talk, I personally do not think he talking to the UTR chairman and deputy would be possible. That's the kind of feeling I get, because there is a reason why the committee for the Unleash the Raw is done in this way. So I make this bigger. So let me make this bigger. It's a bit blurred because I'm trying to zoom in. So the executive committee for the Unleash the Raw, right, is actually has a very huge. It kind of like have a representative of every single facet of the football ecosystem, to put it that way. So you have Eric Chua, who is the parliamentary secretary. So he's a super high ranking. So, and then you have he's the chairman. So he will be in charge of this thing, because this is the Minister Edwin Tong's kind of thing. His baby, and he got a trusted man, to head it, because as a minister he don't really have the time lah. So Edwin Tong cannot do, so Eric Chua is helping. And then you have Lim Teck Yin, which is the Sports SG CEO. So technically you have so because this guy is culture, community youth, this is like, he also got a lot of other portfolios. So the top sports guy will be here. And then you have a representative from the FAS, which is the deputy president, Bernard Tan. So he is one of the right hand man, in a way, you can put it that way, of the president of FAS. And then within the members you have MOE PE branch. So the director is here. And then you have the the Disability Paralympics, and the Special Olympics president is here. And then you have a former women's football team captain. So you have a view. So you have a view of all the from the government side, and as well the FAS side, and then you have a view from a former women's player, and it's a team captain, and then you have a sports business leader of the Deloitte. So you have a MNC that have a representative a sports business leader. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So you have a professional club chairman Desmond Ong, Tampines Rovers FC. I would say the professional club because it is technical professional because all the players are professional. So Lion City Sailors is not the only professional club. It's the only fully professional club, but it's not the only professional club. And then we have Sasikumar, which is the guy that kena his own trap. He's the owner of Emirati FC and he's a CEO of Red Card Global. So Red Card is, I think he's doing, Red Card is like sports business kind of thing. So he's like a sports business kind of guy, and also owner of a NFL club. So he will represent the NFL clubs, the semi-pro and amateur clubs. And then you have another council member, Lionel Lewis. So they didn't put, but he's also a former national team player. So he represents the male side of the national team, former national team players. So that's a good representation there. And then you have a father of youth footballers. So he represents the parent side of things of youth players. These two are, I think, Merrick Tan is part of the Lion City Sailors boys team. Daniel is actually she is actually in the female national team. She's really young as well. And then we have a founder of the White Hatters. He's an NGO, so I'm not sure why the NGO is in, but covers one ground as well. And then you have a senior director of Singapore Pools, which is very important because Singapore Pools actually funds all the football in Singapore. And then there's a co-opted members, which is they are not really at the top level, but they are important in terms of implementation, which is why you have Felipe Au, which is the interim technical director at FAS. Technical director, if I'm not wrong, handles football doctrines. So, and then you have Alexander Durich, which is the principal of ActiveSG Football Academy. So there's ActiveSG Football Academy is a government football academy. So you have the principal of the government football academy being part of this. Of course, you're going to have the principal of the Singapore Sports School because they are also the pinnacle of youth sports as a training center in Singapore. And of course, you're going to have Su Chun Wei, the chief of the Sports Institute and National Youth Sports Institute. So I believe they go into sports science and as well as policies and a bit similar to Felipe Au, but in term of Singapore whole wide. So this is a very comprehensive team that covers all the grounds. And of course, you cannot say that it's fair to say that Sasikumar is very hard to represent all the NFL clubs, or Lionel Lewis to represent all the former national team players, or to represent all the current national team players. I understand, but that's how a committee works. It's not possible to please everyone, and thus this thing is very tricky because Sasikumar accidentally cannot pressure into doing this thing, but I don't think it will work because what's the point of you talking to the top three guy, CEO of Sports SG, Deputy President of FAS, and the Parliamentary Secretary? Why would they listen to him? This is in the army we call it a chain of command, right? There's a hierarchy that you need to follow, so you do not jump right to the top. The more likely scenario I feel is that you need to convince someone, convince at least a few. So Sasikumar could be one of them. You can, if you can convince Lionel Lewis plus the Bernard Tan all within the FAS and Felipe Au, then the four of them you will have they are able to push the ideas in much more better. But I believe that they have their own ideas, and I also not so sure if Mr. Yakob will be able to accept a no as an answer. So you can, or Mr. Kadeyaya. So because you can present all you want. What if they say, sorry, thanks for coming, thanks for your presentation. We will take into consideration, but they never do it. They never take it into consideration. Can can Yakob or Yaya being able to accept their suggestions or ideas or proposals getting rejected or not used or not accepted? That will be another big problem, because when we have something like that, this is a very huge ego issue already, where no, there is a better way to go about doing this, but he put everything out in the public to ensure that Sasikumar is being pressured into, or at least have to be answerable to his offer. And but look at this list. This is a crazy list of people. In this list basically sets the tone of how serious this Unleash the Raw project is. And it doesn't matter how FAS want to run away from this thing, or how to rebrand this into not a result-based kind of thing. This already signals Mr. Edwin Tong's, Minister Edwin Tong's intention to push this thing on in a very serious way. In fact, if I'm an athlete or supporter of another sports, I will be jealous, to be honest. Not even jealous. Sometimes I might even be pissed off that not so much attention is being put into my sport, maybe swimming, or maybe water polo or running. Not so much attention is into my sport, but football get this much attention, get the whole shebang, and all the big shots into this project. I believe other sports, they'll have red eyes. So I don't know how often they're gonna meet, or all will be so delegated that they will never meet, or they hardly will meet, or seldom will meet. That could be also a case, because most of these people is not going to do much, to be honest. They are just there, to provide advice, or to provide resources. And Paralympic president, I'm not sure what you can do. MOE one will be important because they're going to do the schools academy thing. So SPL chairman is not SPL club chairman is not going to contribute much, to be honest. Then Deloitte kind of thing is like, I don't know what he's there for. Will be hard, but maybe maybe he can be advising more on towards a branding and marketing kind of thing. So this committee is not going to meet very often. The level is just too high. Everybody's just too busy. This is my opinion. Or maybe they can, they can be all decreed to meet, and I have no idea lah. Could be the case. So yeah, so this is the drama so far. I really really unnecessary drama. They just make the Monitor Singapore so happy. So much more clickbaits. And you see, I click on the article already. They earn money already. Maybe a few cents from Google Ads. So, but this is the whole shebang now that's happening. And I wish all of them the best. I have no idea how this thing is supposed to go in terms of for Mr. Yakob or Sasikumar. I feel Sasikumar already kind of make it clear in this comment that he just will talk if it's only about accreditation. And I think that's why James Lim is very spot on, that why the angle was about coaching recertification, and then suddenly become a attempt to bash into the UTR team. I don't think, as much respect that I have for Kadeyaya or for Yakob, look at this list. Are they going to just stay on a Zoom and just listen to you? I don't think so. To be honest, none of them will appear for that meeting. You can't even get a meeting with the top three. It's not possible. Try to get a meeting with Bernard Tan. I think just him alone will be a big issue. It will not be easy. So that's all for this video. And please like and subscribe. If you like this kind of content on Singapore football, you can leave a comment. I will do more Singapore football stuff. But I don't think so lah. I don't think so, because I think the audience for Singapore football related stuff is really not that much. I mean, even Singapore politics is not that much, not to mention football. But anyway, I think this is something that is curious and interesting. So I'm just talking about it. So I'll see you in the next video.